I'm with Sugandho. Hello, Sugandho.
Hi, Shai. Good to
Sugandho.
see you.
Sugandho is a disciple of OSHO, and she teaches many, many workshops in Israel and around the world. She runs workshops in heart-related issues or topics, and chakras-related topics, and things like this. And one of the workshops that I didn't know about is this business of energy readings. And my girlfriend Ksenia did this, and since she did, I was invited to receive readings, and I was extremely surprised at the amazing, powerful effect that those readings have. Like, I'm going to describe for you guys watching what it feels like to get a reading. Obviously, you need to get yourself a reading, but when I sat in front of, in order to understand what it or feel what it's like, but when I sat in front of a reader and they started reading my energy field or my energy, I started feeling like they are actually reading me like a book. And not only do they read me, everything that comes out of them and all kinds, every reader has their own kind of way of representing it, but it all, everything they say just feels exactly true, and it feels like it's about me. And besides that, it also really raises the energy, elevates the mood, opens the heart, and does amazing, amazing things. And so when I sat in front of a reader and I received a reading, up until that day, I knew that meditation is something that I can do with myself and to feel myself. But I had, as a not a skeptic, but somebody who checks things out and not believe everything that they with the mind, everything that people say. When I experienced it, to me it was amazing. To me it was a revelation that one person who meditates can read another person, and there could be basically an information transmission, and I call it the internet of the heart, that is not through cable wire and not through Wi-Fi, but through the heart, through just one person reading another person, one person reading into another person. It was a big, big revelation for me, and I was extremely surprised and excited. But then I was also a little bit, I was asking myself, how is this possible? Is this a psychic ability that you teach, Sugandho?
Yes, you can call it a psychic ability, and yet I would like everybody to understand that it's something natural. It's not a supernatural power or something. It is something we all have inside of our heart. And an example to explain it is when you are in love with somebody, or you have a child that is very close to you. Oh, just lost the electricity here.
That's
Can you
okay.
still see me?
I can still see
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So what happens is that we often know what the other needs, or we call the other and he says, oh, I just thought of you and I was hoping that I would hear your voice. Yeah. So the heart receives and perceives when somebody is close to us. We know what the other needs, we know what the other likes or wants. And this quality that we usually know of in our close relationships isn't something that has to be limited to people we love. It can be actually trained and then be used in just the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this attunement to be able to connect to any person, any other person, that's amazing to me. That's just something I didn't know that could happen. And to me, I'm just asking myself. The electricity came back. I'm just asking
Yeah.
myself. I'm just asking myself, why was this the first time I heard about this? Why is this not common knowledge? Why did we forget about this ability?
Yeah, as you said, it's not something that is new. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has been you can say forgotten. Partially, I would say, our scientific development over the last centuries made us want to understand everything scientifically. And this is something that only recently science is able to discover and to measure. And in the past, we just didn't have that. So it kind of got left behind for the sake of things that science has developed. And I think it's a good time to bring it back. And actually, what I see is a coming together of science and esoteric, you can call it. Because, for example, I'm doing readings over the internet, over Skype. Yeah, like space does not matter in a reading. You sit with your eyes closed, the partner can sit in Taiwan, in Australia, God knows where, and you suddenly feel in your heart there is no distance whatsoever. Yeah, and I can perceive the other's heart over a distance of thousands of kilometers.
And that's crazy right there. That's absolutely crazy. And so in that case, the opportunity of people watching is that you can get an energy reading from Sugandho herself or from any one of her students, and experience it on your own without having to take a plane ticket to Israel or wherever Sugandho is at that moment, and just one session, one click away, which is, I mean, it applies to a lot of things, but it's quite something. Again, without experiencing it, it's hard for me to transmit right now. I'm not an energy reader myself yet, so maybe for me it's hard to transmit to the audience what it's like. But it's just a fantastic, fantastic experience. It's just something that, I would even say, I've done things like neuro-linguistic programming, which are also amazing, like modalities and things. But this is different. This is from the heart. This is through the heart. And it just fills you with warmth and like love, and it melts you, basically. It just melts you. That's the sensation most of the time. And then there are insights that you receive, that I received about my life. So every session that I received was very insightful and actually changed the course of my, my life from before the session to after the session, just because there's new information, and it's deep information that I received from these readings. So my point is that I highly recommend your readings, Sugandho, for anyone to try it. And actually, not just that I recommend it. To me, this is a bit of a crusade, or not even a crusade, but that's a bad word. To me, this is a mission or a message that I have for people out there, because this is truly, I believe, revolutionary. The fact that, for the past 100 years, we developed all these computers and all these devices and all these things that, we can communicate. But this is an ancient way that we could communicate, but we didn't grow up with it. Our parents didn't teach us this. And when I sit down in front of somebody in a coffee shop and we have a friendly chat and a conversation, sometimes there's a connection, sometimes there's not a connection. But with this tool, you can create like a really deep bond with somebody. And then, in some cases, it's a therapeutic also. It can be used or is used for therapeutic and healing purposes.
I mean, in any conversation you have, if you really know how to focus on your heart, abundantly in meetings that might be sometimes stressful. Bringing the heart in without even having to say it, but just relaxing into your own heart will have an effect on the communication between us.
I just lost you there over the internet link, Sugandho, but what I heard from you is that even if you're sitting in like a business meeting or at work, then you can connect to your own heart, and let's say it's stressful, just by connecting to your own heart, then it can relax your body and you can basically give yourself an energy reading. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I wouldn't say that you're giving yourself a reading. It's more using the natural
ability
of the heart to bring it into a situation that is stressful, which we know plenty of, and that creates a very subtle relaxation, which is influence. We perceive the other. Maybe suddenly we can say things that we didn't think of before, and it creates a more relaxed atmosphere, which is helpful in especially stressful communication moments.
Right. So that's a great tip. But what I have to say is this. It takes some training, I think, to do this. I mean, in meditation, it happens, but even, where I'm at right now, I don't always remember to do this. And so this is something that's why I'm saying somebody else who's trained in this, who's reading you at first, that's a great way to do it. I'm not saying that you can't do it yourself, but we are here to help each other, right? So it's a great gift to have one person reading another person.
Yes.
And
I didn't hear what you said, sorry.
I'm saying that for me, remembering to do this is still like where I'm at. I don't always remember to do this. And when I'm in a stressful situation, I guess I'm not trained to a point in meditation or even in these kinds of connecting to your heart, just that part of it, to remember and then to succeed every time in doing this. And that's why I'm saying it helps me a lot to receive an energy reading from somebody else who can really help me. So we are here for each other, kind of thing. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So one last thing I wanted to ask you is, I guess, how can somebody receive a reading from you or one of your students? I guess there's a website and they can...
Yeah, there's my website, Sugandho.com, and on the website there are, under the training, also the students, with the details how to reach them.
Of course, including Ksenia.
Yeah, and they are all also authorized to give readings.
Excellent. Okay, we did get some internet connection glitches, but I think our heart-to-heart connection is very, very stable, so it's all good, and the viewers will be able to get the important parts out of this video. So just to summarize, I really, really recommend anyone watching to try this. If you haven't, this is just, if you're into meditation or not into meditation, this is a totally different, new, exciting experience. I've had readings where I went to past lives, which was also mind-boggling for me, because I don't know that there are past lives. I don't know that there aren't, but I don't know that there are, but I experienced it. So it was very enlightening.
Yeah, we're having interruptions.
We are. Okay, then we'll end the interview right here. And thank you very much, Sugandho.
Okay, Shai. So let's do a small reading, a mini reading, yeah, so that people can see what the reading looks like, sounds like.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, is there any specific theme you would like us to look into, or?
No, how about we just do something general reading, or I think
okay.
For the audience, I won't share like a specific theme, just a general reading.
Okay, so most likely I will read the heart. Yeah, unless something else comes.
You know what? It came to me. Maybe we'll do the topic of work. How about that? My life's work, just general topic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can just relax and sit with your eyes closed and breathe into your heart, and I'll do the same. And you can interrupt me at any time if something is unclear or if you want to ask something more specific. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I will take a few minutes to just tune into your heart. All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I close my eyes?
As you like. So the first thing that I perceive about your relationship to your work is an incredible longing for expansion. Yeah, I feel an energy that comes pretty much from your heart. I'm sure there are other chakras involved, that is very excited and is longing to expand, to grow bigger, to be seen, to connect with other people on a level that is nourishing and satisfying you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I've been communicating with computers since childhood, and it's time to communicate with hearts.
Yeah. And what I find interesting here is that there is it feels like as if there is an exciting possibility for you to actually use the skills that you already have, that you are rooted in, that you feel at home with, and take them to a different dimension of your life. Meaning, using all those technologies and at the same time reaching to people on a different level than just
Different level
and
than
it
just what?
almost then just work related, like you want to meet people deeper.
Yes.
And it's like as if I would use a computer language right now, it's like a new startup.
Mm-hmm.
Into a world of changing. Like we are at a time, all of us, yeah, we're living in a time where lots of things are changing. People are losing jobs. Many things are being done by computers. In a short while, cars will be driving us and we will not drive them any longer. And that is on the one hand scary. On the other hand, it frees a lot of things that we don't need to do any longer, and we can use that time in a much more qualitative way. And this is where this startup that I'm sensing here from you actually sets in, finding new meanings in our work and in our relating with each other.
Yes.
And it's at the moment still very vague, and I can also feel it's on a collective level also quite a fearful issue. Yeah, I'm losing my work. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And to help people go through these disturbances and turmoils of change by addressing a part in each one of us that I'm addressing also in you right now, connected to the heart, seems like a tremendous, like bringing the whole consciousness of all of us onto a different level, letting go of these old fears very much connected to basic survival issues, and saying, hey, everything is covered, we are doing very well, we don't need to, we're not going to drown, we're not going to end up on the street when we lose the work we know. Yeah, there is a coverage, and I'm not saying that there are not countries and there are not places in this society where it's not the case, where people are suffering. I'm not saying that. But it seems like we are actually ready, and you are actually ready to go into a new vision of working, where it's much more about as short time as possible, how efficient can I be, but how much quality can I bring into what I'm doing. Like to me it feels like a shift of valuing that we are just in the beginning of, and I feel your heart is like a spring bubbling into that,
Yes.
And I do feel like wanting to encourage you to explore more what that means in detail. Yeah, this is right now just a very wide and open vision, but I think you can trace it down and make it more precise.
Yes. Yes. Very, 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 very to the point. Very true. I have a question, if I may.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time left, but
okay, I will.
Give me the question.
I will say what I feel, that realization, and you can just tell me if I'm in the right, if I have it right. I've always felt like I'm behind my times. Like there's something about me that's say others are breaking out and I'm still not. And then I saw lately, I've been seeing that I'm not behind, I'm not ahead, I'm right with the collective consciousness where the world is at. I'm in tune with where the average of the collective consciousness is at, and I'm basically moving at the very same pace as that collective consciousness. That's how I kind of sense it to be. I'm not behind, I'm not ahead, I'm just right where our society is at. What would you say about that?
That your heart needs to be in the right place where you are at, then you will be the most beneficial for everybody around you. When you try to be faster than you are, or try to make yourself fit into where everybody else is. Yeah, you're losing something of yourself, but by finding what really you can bring, what your qualities are, you are the most beneficial in this collective play of consciousness here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need to adjust to others. You need to dive as deep as you can inside of yourself to be really connected with your own qualities, and then you will never be behind or in front. You will be in the right place.
Mm-hmm. 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 When I said behind, is sometimes I think maybe I'm not doing something I should be doing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. The should doesn't allow you to relax into what is.
Mm-hmm.
It pushes you into a different direction, and that doesn't help.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful.
I see a beautiful flow here, like a bright, wide river, and you're a very juicy molecule in this river, or a drop in this river. It's very beautiful.
Wow, amazing, amazing. I'm happy that we can record this because this is part of this startup innovation that I'm bringing, so people can see those readings for themselves on Facebook and other places, and then they can come and they can try one on their own.
Thank you for sharing your heart with me. It feels very beautiful.
Thank you, Sugandho.
That's the beauty about reading. The reading, that the reader is as much rewarded as the receiver.
That's the beauty of these new ways that the healer is healed, sometimes more than the person being healed. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it goes in both sides.
You finish your work day more energized than you started, as opposed to in the past you would finish it drained.
Okay, I need to go.
Thank you, Sugandho.